Business Focus with Kudzi Sharara on the Champions League breakfast.
Hello, Kudzi.
Good morning, Nasipi. Good morning, Shumba. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So last week there was a complaint here. Not about you, but for you. Someone was like, guys, for 2 days now you are cutting Kudzi short. What's happening? They miss you. So hopefully today you stay with us until 8 o'clock. The people want you, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Every Kudzi, what say? I'm gonna say weekend.
Weekend, I get bored, but sunny.
What was the quiz on Friday?
The quiz was really good. So 2 more schools made it to the finals. That's Chinhoyi High. So those who went to Chinhoyi High,
wow.
Yeah, Chinhoyi High School, as well as Marist Brothers.
Business.
Yeah, Chinhoyi. I think overall, when you look at remember we had 4 groups, 4 pools. So the first pool, Midlands Christian College, and then there was also Munasha High School from Mutoko, and then Marist Brothers from Manikaland. And then, but in terms of overall marks, Chinhoyi High had the highest marks across. Wow. So it will be an interesting final this coming Thursday. That's when the finals will be.
Financial literacy.
Yes.
Because update on Zimbabwe Stock Exchange.
ZSC, it closed positive, and we have been talking about it to say one day it's up, the next day it's down. But on Friday, it was positive with the all-share index putting on 2.13%. The top 10 index doing even better with a 2.4% gain. And then the daily turnover, that's the amount of money that was traded, was increased to 24 million ZiG. That's quite significant there, with the bulk of those funds going into Delta. 12.3 million ZiG worth of shares changing hands in Delta. Econet about 10.7 million ZiG worth of shares, and then you've got 1.3 million in Tanganda, and then about Zimbabwe and BAT also getting a sizable chunk. Then the top risers, these are the companies that help the market close positive. BAT putting on 14.71%. Hippo Valley, the sugar producers, they up by 9.37%. I read a report online the other day, I think it was on Thursday, saying that there is likely to be a shortage of sugar across the world in terms of supply, limited supply of sugar across the world.
Shortage of sugar?
Well, maybe not shortage, but limited supply of sugar versus what demand. So what happens is then, the markets is about eliminating those who can't pay. So the price will go up, and those. So if you don't have enough money, then you are eliminated, or your intake of sugar will be reduced because of so
if you were putting 3 teaspoons, please, 1.5 now.
yes. So, but it will be good for companies like Hippo if they can then ramp up their production, produce more sugar, and benefit from that. We are seeing it with those in the gold sector. Gold is hitting record levels. I think the last time I checked, it had reached about 2,750. That's the price of gold. And if you're a gold producer, you ramp up production, you increase production. But unfortunately for some, the likes of Rio Zim, they recently reported that gold production at their mines was actually down by 27%, which means that they won't get to benefit from these good prices that we are seeing. And interestingly, Patsani, over the weekend on Saturday, I went to Penalonga.
Okay.
Just near Red Wing Mine. The level of small scale mining that I saw there is actually Makorokoza. But it's it's, I think it's now allowed. But the level of gold production that they do, the land degradation that is there, I don't know. I don't know whether that is the kind of mining that we want. We want the foreign currency.
And there's mining and aluvia. It's aluvia which area pese vachitraga.
I don't know. I don't know. But I didn't like the sight of that.
Emma.
Emma. I don't know because it's by the road. You don't have to.
And vantu chera matani paspe road.
Yes, it's just next to the road. For me it was a little bit crazy. So anyway, back to the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. We were talking about gold there, and
so but you said it's down by 23%.
That's a Rio Zim now. Rio Zim is one of the mining houses.
Is mining gambling? uganditi
It's not. It could be poor management.
Okay.
Because others are making money. Remember, we've got companies like Blanket Mine, for example. They are minting it because every quarter they're increasing their production.
Wow.
So they're making money. But others are also struggling. I don't know. Maybe it also depends on your equipment. Is it modern equipment? I think Rio Zim is one of the oldest mines. They might not have. Plus, Pango Gold way down under, just like South African mines. South African mines, you have to go kilometers to get to where the gold is. But in Zimbabwe, for some mines, it's a few hundred meters. And then for some mines like Rio Zim, they've got their mines might be now very deep. Anyway, so Nampek also positive by 4%. We spoke about Nampek last week, saying that Nampek South Africa is exiting Zimbabwe. We spoke about it on Friday, but it seems like investors bought into that story. Maybe one of the reasons why there was a gain in Nampek is because TSO, which is buying the stake, the Nampek stake, the 51% stake, actually paid a premium to the price that was prevailing on the market. They paid way more than what was prevailing on the market. So I think someone is saying, okay, if I can buy now, and then when they do, because it will be mandatory that once the deal is passed, TSO has to make an offer to minority shareholders. So if you buy now, and then you will be able to sell to TSL at a higher price.
So if the profits are good, are they forced to sell?
You can. You're not for. So on mandatory offer, it depends now on what the company wants to do. Sometimes when a company issues a mandatory offer, right, it might want to delist from the stock exchange.
Okay.
I don't know what the structure they might do. Some companies might, or Nampek might say, okay, or TSO, the buyer, might say, instead of you selling your shares in Nampek, you can then exchange your Nampek shares with TSL shares. So you are indirectly still owning that Nampek, but now through TSL. So that's how the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange traded. And then the VFX was on the downside. After losing 0.45%, following losses in National Foods down by 1%, Citco down by 14%, that's Citco International, Simbisa Brands easing 0.48%, Zimplow dropping 2.17%, as well as, although there were marginal gains in African Sun, 0.75% to the good. Also, Axia gaining about 1.5%, First Capital Bank putting on 2%, Inscore 0.18%, and Padenga 0.48%. So, yes, Nasipi, that's how the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange traded on Friday, as well as
very
the VFX.
interesting.
So 2 days, Thursday and Friday.
Friday, yes.
I see yo.
It wasn't.
Yes, because,
hopefully we get that continuous trend. For some, for those who have already bought, they would want a continuous upward trajectory. But for those who want to get into the market, you wouldn't want the market to continue to go up, because it means when you then decide to buy, or when you then get your shares, you're buying them at a higher price. Okay. So you'd want prices to remain where they are, or even come off, because you want to get into the market.
So what's the latest on from RBZ? RBZ.
Yeah, we have got issues with the exchange rate, and the RBZ is saying that during the month of October they injected $50 million into the market. They are saying that there is now increased demand for foreign currency. They are attributing that increase in demand to that because we are going into the farming season. So they're saying that there is increased demand of foreign currency. But interestingly, they are also saying that the last tranche of foreign currency that they put into the market, they were selling about 25 million, and they are saying only 19 million was bought by the buyers or the prospective buyers of foreign currency. They are saying now they did not have enough ZIG liquidity to purchase available foreign currency. So I think I need to say something on this one. So the RBZ put 25 million US, and those who were eligible to buy only managed to buy 19 million.
Okay.
For me, it gives in a way a false impression that now there is excess foreign currency versus the ZIG that is on the market. Remember, there is only a pool of importers that are eligible to buy foreign currency from the Reserve Bank. You can go in a few dollars into your account, they might qualify because they might US could into your account. So I think just like what the auction was where others were excluded from accessing the auction system. It's the same with this system. It excludes other economic agencies and players from accessing foreign currency on the interbank market. So it gives an impression that there's sufficient foreign currency for everybody. But it's because some people are excluded. Some businesses are excluded. But when these businesses are holding ZIG, what will they do? They will look for that foreign currency elsewhere.
It means black market akutoiwedzera.
Because kunongona mati yo haukwanisi kuya foreign ku interbank market.
But ari
kuida foreign currency either to import, either for store of value. So this animal inonzi parallel market and parallel market exchange rate, I don't think we'll be able to solve it for as long as we have got a market that disqualifies others. Yes, I recently there were reports, I think from Treasury, even from Permanent Secretary and Minister of Finance, to say the parallel market only accounts for 5% of trading of foreign currency in the market, and it shouldn't influence the exchange rate. But then you then flip it and say, okay, the Reserve Bank provided 50 million into the market in October, and it's saying it's a lot. But how much my imports? Ataka importer, how much foreign currency was that? More than maybe it's almost, let me just check. The previous month, I think our import bill was 782 million.
And we injected 50 million.
Well, these are different months. This was September.
I'm just
so on average, yes.
Yeah.
So on average, you need about 700 million. Yes. And your market is providing 10 million. So again, it speaks to the fact that even the interbank market is not a true reflection of the market. Why? Because it has got these rules and regulations and restrictive rules and regulations. Saka challenge tinoramba tinayo ye exchange rate. In my opinion. So yeah, that's the update as you asked from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe.
So is there a way out from this?
It's proving like there is no way out as long as we are using a multi-currency system. I think it's going to be very difficult because you have got a currency that is trusted by everyone across the world, and you have got yours that has suffered from confidence deficit over the years. You need to do things that we as Zimbabweans agree together as some kind of a social contract that we all agree as Zimbabweans, guys. Because for me, using the US dollar only, for me, it's not again good. At the moment, using ZIG on its own, it's not good because of certain issues, structural issues. Using the multi-currency system again is not good. Yes.
So what is good?
What is good is we need to come up with a social contract where we agree, guys, let's work towards making sure that the ZIG is the currency of choice, and we all agree with
put value into it.
Yes, and we need to get if it means independent auditors that will make sure that everyone are kutedzera zvatakawirirana senyika. But the mandate to do that is with the RBZ, and it might say, no, it is my mandate as the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. But then when you then go into the market and the market does not accept what you have put on the table, then you continue to have challenges.
So I remember seeing a clip of Honorable Deputy Minister Mnangagwa saying using US dollar is the easiest thing to do.
Yes,
but it is not the wisest thing to do.
100% is 100% correct. And you see it, if you are in business, you can actually see it. That there are challenges that are there when you are using the US dollar exclusively. And we saw it anyway. We remember we dollarized. And the reason why we then had to introduce our bond notes and coins. And one of the reasons was that there was government was not getting enough revenue to meet all the requirements, and you wanted to expand the economy, right? You have got no leeway to, printing of money is not bad. It depends on how much you are printing. It's like putting sugar in your tea is not bad, but you cannot say 20 spoons.
You are drinking sugar
with
tea.
You are any problem. It's the same with printing of money. US is printing money, trillions of dollars that the US is printing, but it also depends on it. Is it also resulting in growth of the economy? But if you continue to print and the economy is not growing, then you've got challenges. Those are guys pakazo introduce my bond notes. Unga utukaenda ku bank wondoda kuwithdraw unotonzi une ma-US mubank account ne$800 yako yema-US account but bank riri kudza kuti hatina mari tokwanisa kupa $20 per week. matobacco farmers, remember, they would go otengesa fodya yawe onzotengesa handitobacco inotengeswa nema-US watengesa nema-US mari yako taisa kubhengi kwako woenda kubhengi hatina mari. You see, until wazoti no, saka tada kupa matobacco farmers kuti wakwanisa kuaccessa mari bva paiswa mabond notes, and we know what happened, everything collapsed.
What it won't happen kuzeki?
Yeah, so ndopanoda social contract towirirana. So treasury, how are you going to handle my payments and everything and your projects? Trukusfamsa say,
and the
RBZ, how are you going to do it? Yes, we are in the farming season and we need about. And again, the challenge is that because of all these Reserve Bank yaka increase anonzi reserve ratios, they went up, my interest rates akakwira, saka you start to think saka farmer how is the farmer going to be funded going into this coming agricultural season? It means that the state now, treasury might have to intervene, and yet hainawo mari yacho
yekupa zvikwereti kumafana enda icho chemauti iripo maybe ma-interest rates acho ndo akanyanyisa
akatonyanya ma-interest rates, but ndokutorimitwa kwemari iri available ikoko because it's about affordability. Ndikanzi interest rate is 35%, ndofunga kuti ndindoda kungonorima chibage whatever zvandazorima ndikwanisa kubhadhara chikwereti ichi ndo vandazongosiyana nazvo handichadzokera kunorima.
Saka yatonzara futi
kudzi
ndakanzwa inflation, latest on inflation.
Yeah, inflation
parisei pakwira kwezvino
ya October watiri uyu handiti. So when you look at the US dollar inflation, there was some kind of stability. It went it remained
stagnant.
Yes, stagnant at 0.7%. That's on month, and I think even the year on year came off slightly to 4.1%. I think the previous month it was 4.3%. But the zig side now of inflation, remember this month is when the zig was devalued. So the prices also followed that devaluation. Prices went up by a massive 37.2% in October. Which means kuti the value of your money kana usina kuwedzerwa salary yako muna October by that 37.2%. When you look at inflation, it means that you can't afford the same things that you were buying. Unonga wakashota kana unga ina $100 zig usina kupiwa imwe 37.2 zig. It means mari yako yakashota ichakwana kutenga zvinhu zvawaitenga.
So munarubvunza mvunzo kudzi hanzi kokujoina Rand Monetary Union hazvishande here?
Ndakambona mukana wekuinterview president Mnangagwa on radio on Capital FM, and we asked that question, and he said when they tried it vakapiwa mitemo ine gumi yanga yakaoma zvokuti vaiteedzere. That was his response. He said he was part of the people who were, I think, team of five that were sent to South Africa to have a look at that, and he said that the terms and conditions were just onerous for us to follow through.
Wow.
Yes.
Anytime I know, even on
the WhatsApp there's lots of mivunzo, but we are out of time. Thank you so much, Kudzi. Next time you must get here Boma half seven.
So
that we can have plenty of time.
Thank you very much, Kudzi Sharara, for Business Focus.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kudzi.
Business Focus with Kudzi Sharara on the Champions League Breakfast.